Hi, my name is Kathrine, and today I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT. You have probably heard about ChatGPT, but maybe you have not yet started. So this video is meant as an introduction, very simple, very easy, and it will help you to start using this tool for daily use. So please follow along. It's a easy, slow learning video, and I hope it will help you to get into using ChatGPT. Before I go into the practical part about using ChatGPT, I just want to explain a little bit what is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is made by a company called OpenAI. So I'm going to go into their webpage, which brings me here. And let's just read what it says about this company. It says, OpenAI is an AI research and deployment company. Our mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. So, this company is located in the USA, and it has actually then invented this tool, which is called ChatGPT. Now, if you want to go along and have a look here, I'll leave the links below so you can click and have a read upon their page and see more information. But let's just be sure to understand that OpenAI is the company that invented ChatGPT. Now, to get into ChatGPT, it is possible to do it going to www.chatgpt.com, which I'm going to do very soon. But before we do that, let's just talk about this word, ChatGPT. What does actually ChatGPT mean? Well, it's actually put together from multiple words. So we have chat, generative, pre-trained transformer. The chat part, it means that you can actually talk to it like a normal conversation. So I can say something and ChatGPT will answer me back. This gives me the opportunity to ask questions of any sort and it will give me answers to my question. The G stands for generative, which means that it will create text and ideas. It can also actually make illustrations. So, for example, this illustration you see here on my right hand side, this is made by ChatGPT. The P stands for pre-trained. And this means that to be able to answer your questions, it actually needs a lot of information, like a big library full of information that it can access and it can give me some answers back. And of course, if I wanted to answer any type of question that I give it, it needs a lot of pre-trained information, which it has also been given. Now, the T stands for transformer. This is kind of the way that AI understands and writes languages. So once I ask a question, it will give me some sort of answer back, and it's usually very human like. So basically, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a smart chatbot that you can talk to, and it helps you by answering questions, writing text, and giving ideas. Now, it can do a lot of things, but we'll just start with these basic things. To get started, what do we need to do? Well, you need to have access to the internet, and you should have some sort of device. It is possible to do it on your computer, but if you do have a smartphone or iPad or something like that, you can also download the ChatGPT app to your smartphone. So you can do that through the App Store, you can do that through the Google Play Store, and so on. But today, I'm just going to show you how to do it on your computer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and open a browser on my computer, and then I'm going to type in www.chatgpt.com. www.chatgpt.com. gpt.com. www.chatgpt.com. And this will bring me to this page. Now, it's a very simple page. There's not much going on, but let's just have a look in the middle. It says ready when you are. And it says ask anything. Now, there's a few other things going on here up in the right hand corner. I could go here and sign up for free. There's login. I could click on this little question mark. It will give me some different menus. But at the moment, I'm just going to go here where it says ask anything. And I'm kind of curious about what ChatGPT is. So I'm just going to ask, what are you? And let's see what it says. Now, this starts a conversation. So we're now actually chatting with ChatGPT. And it says, I'm ChatGPT, an AI developed by OpenAI. And it says, I'm designed to understand and generate human like text based on the prompts you give me. I can help with these things. And here we go, answering questions, writing and editing, coding and debugging, learning new topics, brainstorming ideas, analyzing documents or data, and more, depending on what you need. Now, please be aware, it will also come up with this little messaging box. It says, by messaging ChatGPT, you agree to our terms and have read our privacy policy. Don't share sensitive information. Chats may be reviewed for safety and abuse prevention. Now, first time I go in here, I would actually recommend to just click on these terms and privacy policy and learn more. But at the moment, I'm not going to do that. I do recommend that you do it yourself when you go and do this, but I'm just going to close this little pop-up. Now, I'm actually having a conversation, so we can keep going. So I'm going to say, give me some examples. And what I do, I press enter or I click on the little arrow, and it will now start answering, and it's giving me some examples of things that ChatGPT can help with. So, learning and research, for example, explain quantum entanglement in simple terms, summarize the causes of World War One, and so on and so on. It gives me examples of writing and editing, which it can help with, programming and tech help, creativity and brainstorming. For example, generate names for a fantasy novel, come up with birthday gift ideas for a 12-year-old who loves space, and so on. So let's not really look into the answers at the moment. I'm just giving you the technique. You can go ahead and ask. Now, it's also possible in the left-hand corner to make a new chat. So if I open that one, it will actually say something like this. Clear current chat. To start a new chat, your current conversation will be discarded. And of course, that's not really good. But remember, I have not signed in. So at the moment, I'm just using kind of the basic chatgpt.com. I have not logged in or signed up for any account. So this means that if I go out from this area, I'm going to lose everything I'm working with. Okay. But of course, if you just want to use ChatGPT like this on a maybe not daily basis, but once in a while, it's okay. But remember, it will not remember anything of what's being done here. Of course, I could have copied this information, maybe copy it and paste it into a Word document, which I again can save, but without logging in, you will lose everything here. So I do recommend that you make an account. It's possible to make a free account, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to sign up for free. You don't really need to pay anything in the beginning. You can just go ahead and sign up for free. So I'm going to do that up in the right hand corner, and I'm just going to click here. So what I want to do is I want to create an account, and you have kind of four options. You could here, add your email address. If you have an existing email address, just go ahead, add that one, continue, and give it your password. Not your password, but the password you want it to have for logging into ChatGPT. Always remember your password. But you could also, if you do have an existing Google account or a Microsoft account or an Apple account, you can use one of those. I am going to use a Google account. So I'm going to click on this one. I do have a Google account I'm going to use for today's tutorial. So I already registered with Gmail. I have an email there. So I'm going to type it in here. And here we go. itkatrina@gmail.com. This is my email I'm going to use today. And I'm going to click on next. And what you need to do here is enter your Gmail password. Okay, so I'm going to enter this one and then I'm going to click on next. Now, of course, if you had an Apple account or a Microsoft account, you would just use that one. It wants me to save my password here, but I'm just going to ignore this. And please be aware, I am in Norway. I am Norwegian. So part of my computer tends to come up in Norwegian. It actually just says here, log into OpenAI. Do you want to continue? And I'm going to continue. Now, because I'm totally new, I'm going to tell it a little bit about myself. So here it would ask for your full name. I'm just going to type in my name, Kathrine. The reason why it asks for your name is, of course, they want your name to be associated with your account, but also whenever you start chatting with ChatGPT, it's nice that it actually remembers your name. So it can actually be a bit personal when it answers your questions. It also asks you for your birthday. This has to do with the age limit. You have to be 13 or older. And actually, if you're below 18, you have to have permission from your parents to access here. So, this is just kind of a stopping security to ask what your birthday is. So, I'm just going to type in the date here and then I'm going to continue. So, this is just setting up my ChatGPT account. And once this is done, I'm in. Now, in the beginning, it might give you some tips and some information. So it actually says here tips for getting started, ask away, or don't share sensitive info, or check your facts. So, first of all, of course, we can start asking about things. Also, they do advise don't share sensitive information. And please also remember ChatGPT may give you inaccurate information. So always check your facts. But I'm just going to say, okay, let's go. Now, again, some information. It now says ChatGPT now has a memory. So this means that you can keep the conversation going because the ChatGPT system will remember all our chats and it means you can remember things between your chats. It also says a more personalized assistant. Memories and your chat history are used to give you more relevant responses. And in the end, it also says you are in control and it actually says that you can do different things in your settings. So at the moment, I'm just going to enable this. And here we are. So now I will see up in the right hand corner, I am logged in. If I click here, I will see my user. I will see a few things I can go into the menu here to do, but I'm not going to do that today. What I also see is I can start asking things here, and on the left, I will see a few things going on, and I'm now going to explain the basics. There's lots of things we can do, but I'm just going to go ahead and start asking something. So, again, let's just ask ChatGPT for something. And I am going to just say, please give me information about the difference between ChatGPT free and the plus version. Now, what's going to happen now? It might actually even start popping up with some information that is searching on the web. And here it actually gives me a breakdown of the key differences between ChatGPT free and ChatGPT Plus. Now, the Plus version will cost $20. Here in the left corner, here in the bottom, I could actually upgrade it. I could click here, and it will actually give me the possibility to either upgrade to Plus. I have this one, or I could go for the Pro. Now, the Pro one is quite expensive. These numbers coming up here are in euro. This is because I am in Norway. We do not use euro, but we are closer to Europe than United States. Probably if you are from the United States, you would get it up in dollar. If you are somewhere in Europe, you would get it up maybe like this. So, of course, you could upgrade. Here you can read a little bit about the differences. Also, note on the top personal or business. So, if you are a business, you could make a team version. But I'm just going to keep on going in the free one here. I'm just going to close this little cross so we get back to this area. Now, here it actually has given me information about the differences. So I could, of course, read this. But basically, the difference between a free version, I'm logged into a free version. The thing is, of course, speed, usage limits, multimodal and creative tools. You get more tools in the paid version. You get more advanced tools in the paid version. You get beta and early access versions in the paid one, and so on. So basically, in the free one, you do get quite a lot of stuff. But in the plus one, you would get much more. So it usually has to do with limitations on how many questions can I ask per day, how many images can I make, and so on and so on. But if you're just like a simple user, maybe you're just using ChatGPT once in a while, it would be perfectly fine to just keep the free version. Okay. Now, what's different than the open one where I did not log in? Well, here on the left, we do have a few menus, and there should be like a little close sidebar area here. I can click on it. This will close. I can click here and open, and I could make a new chat. I can search chats. We have a library. We have something called Sura. Sura is OpenAI's AI video generator. If you want to make videos, that is possible, but you have to have a plus version. Here you can also see something called ChatGPTs or just GPTs. This gives you kind of special chats that can do specific things. But today I'm just going to show you basically this area here. And what happens is once we started our chat, it will be saved here. So if I make a new chat, let's go ahead and make a new chat. What's actually going to happen? It's going to make a new chat. And a chat actually is smart to think about like a topic, a theme, and a specific question. So always keep to the related chat. I'm going to ask for something totally different, and I'm going to pretend that I want to go on a holiday to Norway. And I'm going to ask it to give me some tips. I want to go on holiday in Norway for 2 weeks in September 2025. Give me some tips. Now, you might notice I'm kind of typing, maybe misspelling stuff and so on. I don't really care because the system is really smart, but I'm just going to go with this one. And let's send this request. And it actually tends to become quite personal. It says, that sounds like a fantastic plan. September is a great time to visit Norway, fewer tourists, beautiful autumn, and so on. Now, it will give me some general tips. I did tell it I'm going in September, so it tells me a little bit about the weather, the daylight, the crowds, and then it gives me some advice on maybe where to travel. So here it says Oslo. Oslo is the capital of Norway. It says Bergen. Bergen is on the west coast. It says Ålesund and Geiranger. These are all the beautiful fjords, and so on and so on. Now, of course, I could keep on looking here, and I could keep on typing. And let's just type something else. We'll say, what kind of clothes should I bring? And here it will give me a response. Sometimes it ends up a little bit like this. Maybe it gives you response number one, response number two, because ChatGPT, they're always working on new versions. So here I could actually say, do I like this one or do I like this one best? Which one do I actually prefer? So we could go all the way down. I prefer this. Let's just go for this one. And you can still here, you can see kind of can browse between the two options. Okay. Now, if I actually close down this one, let's say I actually went all the way out and I want to go in again. So let's go back to chatgpt.com and I'm going to go into ChatGPT again. So I'm already logged in, so I'm just going in. It may also now give me some new advice. You should read these things, which is smart. I'm just going to close this window. But what I want you to notice is now on the left, you will see the two chats that we have had going. Now we have this one, chat free versus plus. It was named this because this is actually what I was talking about. I could now go back and I could keep on typing and I can ask different things in this conversation, or I could go back to my Norway holiday tips for 2025. Now, finally, before we end this tutorial, I'm just going to ask it for one more thing, and I am going to ask it, please make an image from the fjords in Norway. Now, it's pretty good at making images of all different sorts, but I'm just going to do it super simple. What will happen now, it actually can make images. Now, please remember, I am now on a free version, which does not give you priority. It does say lots of people are creating images right now, so this might take a bit. We'll notify you when your image is ready. And you might wonder, how long will that take? Well, it depends on the time of the day, how many people are using ChatGPT at the same time, and so on and so on. But usually it goes quite quickly, but sometimes it can take longer. So we're just going to wait until this is finished. After about 2 minutes, the image is created, and what I see here is actually a generated image from the fjords of Norway. Now, this would definitely not be kind of a real fjord. I don't think this fjord specifically exists in Norway, but what it's actually done, it's generated the image based on my instructions, and it's probably been looking into how other pictures from Norway look and tried to generate something similar. And of course, I could even download it here to my computer and so on, and you could just find a place to download it. Now, I'm just going to go up. You will see the whole conversation is here. It's actually saved here on the left, which means next time you access ChatGPT, you can go in here and you can keep on talking here in each and every conversation. And remember, up here on the top, you can also click on a new chat and it will give you a new chat. And now you can actually see it says, how can I help you, Kathrine? How does it know my name? Remember, we registered with a name when we set up the account. So now you have the possibility to get a free account and you can start using ChatGPT with the tools I've now given you. So go ahead, set up your own account on chatgpt.com, and then you can start using ChatGPT. And then you can come back here to my channel later on, and we will make more tutorials about how to work in the different menus of the system. Thanks for following this tutorial, and good luck with ChatGPT. And please remember to subscribe to follow our channel.